There comes a moment when the heavens grow silent and the path ahead is covered in mist. You can't see the destination, only the next step, and yet your spirit knows God is doing something. Beloved, hear me now. If you are experiencing unusual disruption, divine tension, or the stillness of unanswered prayers, it may not be a sign that God has forgotten you. It may be a sign that God is about to give you something big. Tonight I will reveal 6 prophetic signs that the Lord often uses when He is about to shift your life into something greater. But I must warn you, before He gives the blessing, He often gives a burden. Before He opens the heavens, He often closes every earthly door. Why? Because what He's about to do cannot be mistaken for the work of man. The first sign is silence. Remember the 400 years between Malachi and Matthew? No prophets, no signs, no miracles. But then came the voice crying in the wilderness, John the Baptist, the forerunner of the Messiah. When God is preparing something big, He often goes silent. Are you in a silent season? Don't mistake silence for absence. He is still moving, just not where you can see Him yet. He is building, He is shifting, He is preparing the ground so that when the rain of blessing falls, the soil can hold it. The second sign is unusual warfare. Before Jesus began His ministry, He was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, not to be comforted, not to be crowned, but to be tested. Why? Because warfare always surrounds what is worthy. If the enemy has intensified the attack, it means the enemy sees something coming that you can't yet see. He is trying to distract you, derail you, exhaust you before the birthing. Some of you are fighting battles that don't make sense. You're exhausted, confused, maybe even questioning if you're in the will of God. But here's the truth. The greater the warfare, the greater the calling on the other side. The third sign is what I call divine discontent. You're no longer comfortable where you are. Things that used to fulfill you no longer satisfy. Conversations, environments, even achievements feel empty. This is not a failure. This is God pulling you out of the shallow waters because He's calling you into the deep. Moses felt it in Pharaoh's palace. He could have stayed in comfort, but something stirred. Something broke. He left it all behind. Why? Because he knew, this is not my destiny. God uses divine discomfort to shake you from what's good so He can bring you to what is great. The fourth sign is a season of closed doors. You try one path, it shuts. You pursue a relationship, it ends. You knock, you push, you pray, and still it closes. But listen carefully. God will often shut every wrong door, so the only one left open is the right one. Joseph faced betrayal, slavery, prison. Every door shut. But one day, the prison door opened, not into another pit, but into the palace. You may be standing in front of locked doors, but God is not punishing you. He is preserving you for the door that aligns with your destiny. The fifth sign is supernatural alignment. Suddenly, people start coming into your life you didn't expect. Opportunities arise out of nowhere. Timing begins to feel orchestrated. That's not coincidence, that's divine orchestration. Ruth went out to glean in a random field, but it happened to belong to Boaz. Nothing just happens in the kingdom. When God is about to give you something big, He brings divine appointments. Watch the signs. Watch who enters. Watch how things start to fit. That's the Lord arranging the puzzle of purpose. Finally, the sixth sign, a call to consecration. Before every major move of God, there is a call to go deeper, let go, and surrender more. He will ask you to fast, to pray, to walk away from distractions, to purify your heart, not to punish but to prepare. God does not pour new wine into old wineskins. He cleanses the vessel before he fills it. If you feel God drawing you away from the crowd, asking for more of you, it means he's about to entrust more to you. There are moments in life when everything feels like it's shifting. Your comfort is gone, the familiar grows strange, and you sense something stirring deep within. It's not coincidence, it's not chaos, it's God preparing you for something big. He doesn't shout it from the heavens. He doesn't always confirm it through signs right away. But deep in your spirit, you know something is coming. A divine move is near. When God is about to give you something big, he doesn't begin with blessing. He begins with breaking. He removes the crutches. He allows the silence. He lets the door close, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because what he is about to place in your hands, no man can give and no man can take away. You'll feel it in the silence, the kind that stretches on longer than you think it should. Your prayers echo, your worship feels dry, and heaven seems closed. But this is the way of God. Before John the Baptist cried out in the wilderness, there were 400 years of silence. No prophets, no revelation. But in that silence, God was setting the stage for the Messiah. If you're hearing nothing, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something holy is being woven behind the veil. Then comes the warfare. The battles become strange. People turn, finances shake, health falters. The enemy intensifies, not when you're off track, but when you're close to divine purpose. Hell fights hardest when heaven is about to break through. You wonder, why now? Why this storm? Because the enemy can sense your promotion even when you can't. He sees the angels dispatched. He sees the oil about to pour, so he rages. But don't retreat, don't run. It's proof that the promise is near. There's a restlessness that begins to rise. You can't explain it. What once satisfied no longer does. The place that used to feel like home feels like a prison. That's the Holy Spirit creating divine discontent. He's moving you out of the shallow into the deep. You're too big for the old place now. Your spirit is outgrowing your surroundings. It's not rebellion, it's transformation. You are not losing yourself, you are becoming who God designed you to be. Suddenly doors start closing, opportunities vanish, connections end. You cry out, wondering if you've missed it. But every closed door is a divine reroute. God shuts down the good so you don't miss the great. Joseph needed the prison to get to the palace. If every door is slamming, it means the right one is being prepared. Then, without warning, you start seeing strange alignments. People arrive in your life you never expected. A conversation opens a new opportunity. Timing starts to feel too perfect to be random. That's not luck. That's God orchestrating every detail. He brings the right people, right places, right moments, all when you're ready, not when you're desperate. You don't have to chase it. He aligns it. And through it all, he starts whispering, "Come closer." The deeper the promise, the higher the call to consecration. He asks for more surrender, more purity, more focus. Because what's coming requires a vessel that's clean, humble, and ready. Before he pours out, he purifies. He hides you. He quiets you. He strips away distractions so he can clothe you with destiny. This is not just another season. It's a divine setup. Every silence, every battle, every closed door, and every holy whisper is pointing to this truth. God is about to give you something big. Something that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and minds haven't imagined. Get ready. There is a sacred kind of silence that descends not when God is absent, but when he is most at work. It is the silence that precedes the move, the stillness that comes before the wind begins to roar. Some of the loudest moves of God begin in the quietest places. And if you find yourself in that place right now, where your prayers feel unanswered, where heaven seems to hold its breath, do not despair. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being prepared. Before the Messiah appeared, there were 400 years without a prophet's voice. The heavens were still. The people wondered if God had abandoned them. But in the silence, God was aligning kings, kingdoms, and wombs. He was preparing the earth for the Word to become flesh. That's the mystery of divine silence. It is not absence, it is alignment. If you're walking through a season where your spirit is crying out but you hear no reply, where your faith feels like a seed buried in unbroken soil, take heart. God often hides what he is building. The foundation is always laid in secret. Before the Ark of Noah was revealed, it was formed quietly under obedience. Before David sat on the throne, he worshiped alone in the fields. The silence is not wasted. It is sacred. It is the ground zero of destiny. But this silence doesn't mean ease. It leads to the second sign, unusual warfare. When the silence begins to break, the storm begins to rise. Because when God is about to bless, hell is about to battle. There is no neutral ground in the Spirit. Every promise is pursued by a principality. Every assignment carries a price. Jesus, before he ever preached a sermon or healed the sick, was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Not into celebration, not into promotion, but into confrontation. There he faced the full fury of the enemy. Why? Because the wilderness always precedes the wonder. The war always comes before the crown. If your life has suddenly erupted in conflict, if the pressure has intensified, if the warfare feels personal and targeted, it's because the enemy sees what's coming. He's not attacking your past, he's terrified of your future. He doesn't fight what isn't a threat. So if the warfare has gotten strange, unusual, even unrelenting, it means your destiny has been located in the spirit realm. Some of you are fighting battles you didn't expect. Relationships are crumbling. Your sleep is under siege. Your peace is attacked in waves. But I tell you now, this is not the end. It's confirmation. You are on the edge of something divine. The enemy is panicking because he sees the oil about to pour, the doors about to open, the chains about to break. The warfare isn't just external, it reaches into your thoughts. Doubt whispers, fear shouts, lies swirl around your identity. You begin to question your calling, your worth, your very position in God. But that's the strategy of hell, to exhaust your faith before the harvest. If the devil can't destroy your future, he will try to wear you down until you surrender it yourself. But you must stand. Stand in the silence. Stand in the storm. Stand when you don't feel anointed, when your hands tremble and your voice cracks. Because breakthrough isn't a feeling. It's a decision to believe God even when nothing looks like it's working. The silence is holy. The warfare is prophetic. Both are signs that God is near. He is not punishing you. He is positioning you. The silence is sharpening your hearing. The warfare is strengthening your resolve. Together they are shaping a vessel that can carry what is coming. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it. But the signs are clear. God is about to give you something big. And the silence and the battle are proof that the gates of heaven are about to open. There comes a moment in the life of every believer where the comfort you once enjoyed starts to feel like a cage. The conversations that used to excite you become hollow. The routines that once gave you peace now stir restlessness. It's not depression, it's not confusion, it's divine discontent. When God is preparing to shift your life into a new dimension, He begins by making you uncomfortable in the old one. It's not that what you had was wrong, it's that it's no longer enough. Your spirit begins to expand beyond your environment. You are growing, but your surroundings are not. And so heaven begins to stir the waters. The nest you once loved starts to prick. The manna that once satisfied begins to rot. Moses felt it in Pharaoh's palace. He had all the luxury of Egypt, but something inside him broke when he saw the suffering of his people. He couldn't explain it, he just knew, this is not who I am anymore. Divine discontent will disconnect you from places you've outgrown. It will remove the appetite for anything less than your assignment. It is the holy agitation of purpose calling you forward. Don't silence it. That stirring in your soul is a signal that the cloud is moving. If you stay in a place where God's presence is no longer resting, you will wither. You were not created to survive on what once fed you. You were made to move when He moves. Divine discontent is not chaos, it's clarity. It is the inner witness that tells you, God has more for me than this. You may not see where you're going, but you can no longer stay where you are. That feeling, that ache, that is God evicting you from comfort and calling you into destiny. And then come the closed doors. You knock and nothing opens. You send the message and there's no reply. You step out in faith and the way shuts in your face over and over. You try to make things work, relationships, jobs, ministries, and they collapse. You pray, you fast, and still doors slam shut. Let me tell you, this is not rejection. This is redirection. God, in His mercy, will shut down every door that leads you away from your purpose. He is not just the God who opens doors, He is also the one who closes them. And when the wrong doors close, it's not a setback, it's divine protection. Joseph had a dream, but every door he walked through seemed to take him further from the palace. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into prison. Every time he thought he was stepping up, life pushed him down. But every closed door was funneling him toward the one door that mattered. The door that would open to Pharaoh's court and unlock his destiny. You may be weeping in front of a closed door right now. You may be trying to understand why God let it shut. But what you can't see is that the delay is delivering you to the exact place where the right door is waiting. The door you didn't ask for. The one you couldn't reach on your own. The one that no man can shut. Closed doors are the language of heaven. They are God's way of speaking when you're too distracted to hear. When you don't move by whisper, He moves by wall. When you ignore the stirring, He allows the shutting. But it's not to hurt you, it's to guide you. If every door is closed, it means your life is under divine surveillance. God is ordering your steps with such precision that even your no's are working for your good. Even your losses are part of your leading. The discontent is your spirit waking up. The closed doors are heaven's hands steering you. Together, they mean one thing. God is shifting you into something greater than you can comprehend. So don't panic. Don't chase what's behind you. Don't fight to keep open what God has sealed shut. Lift your eyes. There is a door that is still hidden, but it is ordained. And when it opens, no man can stop it. You're not losing your life. You're being aligned for the life that was always meant to be yours. So now you stand here at the edge of something holy. You've walked through the silence, you've survived the warfare, you've wrestled with the restlessness and wept at closed doors. You've watched strange alignments fall into place, and you've heard the deep call to go lower before God lifts you higher. And all of it has led to this truth. God is about to give you something big, but not just anything. Not a surface level breakthrough, not a temporary blessing, not something you can manufacture or manipulate. What's coming is heaven-born, purpose-woven, and spirit-backed. It's the kind of move that shifts generations, not just for you, it's through you. God has been preparing you to carry glory, to release life, to walk in authority, and to reflect His name without compromise. You didn't survive what you survived for nothing. You didn't cry those tears in vain. You didn't keep standing just to remain still. Heaven took record of every night you didn't quit, every battle you didn't run from, and now your yes is about to collide with His timing. But hear this, when God gives it, you must steward it. When the door opens, walk through it with humility. When the mantle falls, wear it with purity. When the promise is fulfilled, don't forget the one who fulfilled it. Because what He gives is not for your comfort, it's for His kingdom. This is not about elevation, it's about assignment. He is raising up people in this hour who are not chasing platforms, but His presence. People who don't need applause to obey. People who are willing to carry the weight of the call even when no one sees it. People who have been hidden, crushed, refined, and now are ready. If that's you, if something in your spirit has been burning as this word has gone forth, then lift your eyes. Because it's not just a season change, it's a spiritual turning point. You are stepping into a time where what God spoke in the dark is about to be revealed in the light. What He promised in secret is about to show up in public. You don't need to strive. You don't need to force it. You don't need to convince anyone. The evidence will be the fruit. The doors will open by His hand. The oil will flow because He chose you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. You stayed, you trusted, you endured, and now it's time. Get ready. God is about to give you something big, something holy, something weighty. And when He does, the only thing left to do is fall to your knees and give Him all the glory. Because it was never about the gift. It was always about the giver. This is your moment. Heaven has marked it. Now walk in it. Beloved, listen. You are not being buried. You are being planted. And what God is doing in secret will be shouted from the rooftops when the time is right. You've seen the silence. You've felt the warfare. You've tasted the discontent. You've faced the shut doors. You've watched alignment shift. And now you're hearing the call to consecration. That means you are close, closer than you know. Get ready. Stay faithful. Stay hidden. Stay pure. Because when God gives you something big, it won't be just for you. It will overflow into generations. This is your season of preparation, and soon it will be your season of revelation. Amen.